There was a girl called Charlotte. She had no place to stay, so she went to a hotel that looked like it was abandoned. It had webs sprawled in the corners of the room. The workers were old and wrinkly and looked as if they were nearing death. She asked for a room and they gave her a key and the number was Room 13. Chapter 1. Without hesitation, she went to door 13 and unlocked it. She looked around and saw something. A bloody note. It said, "Dear Diary, 1934. If you're reading this, and you're in room 13, there's paranormal activity there. I was here with my family. I lost all my family, and I managed to get out the hotel all by myself. My parents were killed and so were my siblings. I found my twin sisters dead in the bathtub. My mother was cut to pieces and put in a pot and my father was found dead hanging on a tree." She was startled. She didn't know what to do, so she left the hotel room and went to the lobby to talk to the staff. Frantically, she told the old man at the counter about the bloody cryptic note. So old man followed her skeptically to her room. Before there was rotting blood smeared across the wall. Now it was gone, and the bloody note had turned blank. He grimaced with annoyance and told her it was just part of her imagination. She tried to reason with the man on how she wasn't crazy and how what she had claimed was true. "Maybe you should get some rest," he snarled, slamming the door behind him. She stood in defeat. Then she pondered for a moment. "Maybe I am just imagining things," she sighed while she plopped down onto her bed, with the heavy weight of paranoia still creeping up on her. Finally, when she thought she was at peace, she opened her eyes and looked up. Once again on the ceiling was the rotting blood which dripped onto her stunned face. Paralyzed, she laid there with her heart beating out of her chest. Not being able to take it any longer or even breathe, she turned away. The silence was eerie and deafening. Grueling minutes passed before she had knocked herself out with panic, hoping in the morning it would disappear. Plus, she woke up the next morning shaking in her bed. She decided to start exploring the bloody room on the once again bloodied note. She found a photo of a family. One of the pictures had become ripped and worn over the years. The head of the mother was ripped. Charlotte quickly became curious in knowing what she looked like. Her curiosity grew, but in a moment of reflection she pondered, "I'll just leave it for later." She stumbled to the bathroom and did what she does as usually. She seemed to have forgotten about the old bloody stains and the old note. As she brushes her teeth, she remembered about the door number, room 13. She mumbled to herself. She had remembered. She had read about unsettling urban legends about the number 13. As the unsettling feeling again washed over her, she slowly began to remember the bloody stains all around her room, and a note with the odd family in the photos. Her stomach dropped as she ran to the door. Then she froze in panic. Suddenly she tried to pull the door open. It wouldn't budge. She fell against the old worn wall, curled into a ball and started to weep heavily for help. Chapter 2. As she cried, she saw a figure fly across the room. She was so scared she couldn't even speak. So she sat there. The silence was deafening. She had no idea what to do in that moment. She felt like she couldn't even move. A boy who was in room 12 heard her. He asked in confusion, "What is that noise, Mummy? It sounds like a cry for help." Both the mum and the child trembled to the lobby and asked an old fragile man to come check room 13. They ran out the lobby and to room 13, but they tried to open it, but it wasn't budging. They broke the door down. They saw nothing, just a nice clean room with no one in it. "Everything is fine, ma'am," she said. "Okay." I went to the room with her son said, "Isn't that strange? There's no one in that room, but I heard crying, loud and clear. Don't you believe me?" "I don't know what to say," she said. "Let's just go back to our room. Maybe you're hearing things." As she walked skeptically back to their hotel room, Charlotte was trapped in the room, so she trembled, her bed facing up as the sagging blood dripped on her. Her body finally shut down for the night. In the morning the door was opened, so she ran to the door and bolted to the lobby and asked for a new key for another room. The old man said no, have to stay in there until the final week is over. She walks back to her room. I noticed sounds and something new, something saying help me, help me, help me over and over again. It looked like bloody footprints were walking up the roof. She said not again, it not gonna make me sleep in the night. A voice whispered, I know I'm doing this for you to get out. Is that the reason why you killed the family on the letter? In voice whispered, yes, this was my room back in 1745. I was making too much noise, so everybody in the other hotel used to pick on me, so when I died, I haunted the people that came in this room. That's why they named this room Room 13, because of the horrible legends. Chapter 3. She called room service on the telephone. When they answered, she begged for the room, but they said no again. You have to wait until your week is over. You booked a month. Do you even have a place to stay? He said, yes, I do have a place to stay. I want to stay here for a month to see how my parents feel, cause they always think my little sister is the angel in the family. I'm the devil, so I left. Turns out she acts really bad around me. She said, he said, I don't care about your side hustle, you're not getting another room. She mumbled, let me free. It whispered no. She shouted yes, no. It whispered. Her anxiety grew bigger. So she made her food and fell into bed. Once again she couldn't sleep. She felt like she was getting watched by someone. When she finally fell asleep, she woke up and she stood up and sat again. She was too tired to stand or even move. When she felt like she could get up, she made her breakfast but didn't care about the spoils, blood on the wall. All she cared about is for the week to be over so she can go home. Chapter 4. But that in a week. She tried to ignore it, but she kept hearing whispering. So she tried to call room service one more time. But it didn't work. They told her no again. She went to bed and listened to music. But they didn't help her. He still thought about the letter. All she could think about is the way the ghost killed that family. Why would it do that? She pondered as she listened to her music. She tried to think about how that there was 6 days left until she can go home. But she still thought about her surroundings. So she wanted to sleep. But it was too early in the morning. It was about 12 a.m. Why can't I not think about this? She tried knocking on room 12 asking if they could swap, but they said no. She said, please, I can't stay there any longer. They said that to us is bad enough, go away. Okay, fine. And she went back to her room and she just walked around the bloody room pondering what she can do. Maybe I should sleep the whole 6 days, but I'll be dead because I wouldn't have eaten. How else can I not think about this? I should listen to music all day. That won't work either. I tried that this morning. She had no clue what to do. What should I do? She tried calling room service one more time, but once again they said no. She was about to give up when the person from room 12 called her and said, we could swap for a day if you want. She said, of course I want to, because I want to experience what you're feeling in there. If it good or bad, tell me, even if I'm gonna stay in there for a day. Said, you'll find out and see. She leaps with joy. Chapter 5. The mum said, just joking, why would I be in there? Why would you do that to me? She said, because I don't wanna be in there. The person said, I just wanted to you happy for once, cause you're always probably crying and making my son concerned. The mum said, maybe that because I got trapped in there. She said, but we didn't see you in there. The mum said, well, she was concerned because there's a ghost in there that is tricking your brains to thinking everything is fine in my hotel room. Start listening to your son because he should be concerned for me, she said. The mother said, shut up. Cut the phone. She sat there pondering, why would the person do that to me? She had no luck today. She had no idea what to do and just sit down and listen to music. She listened to podcasts. The one that was about the horrible urban legend about number 13. As time passed by, she got hungry and made herself some lunch. Her week was over, so she packed her bags and went to the lobby, checked out to leave, then dashed so fast. When she passed by, you could barely see her. She was so happy she could finally go home. She regretted why she left the house in the first place. As she got closer to the house, sat down, have some leftover food and some water. She decided to stay in the forest overnight. As the darkness grew bigger and the silence was eerie and deafening, she decided to stay by nearby place for the night. As morning rose, she was still a few miles away from home. She decided to sprint for the first few hours, constantly stumbling around and sitting down in exhaustion to rest and fuel herself. Almost there, just another few hours, she said in relief. She ran again. 1 mile after another mile. Darkness soon filled the light so quickly she found another place to sleep for the night. "Come on. You can do this," she mumbled to herself. She was almost there. She saw a nearby house that looked like her family's house. Then she realized that she was home safe. She was hoping that her family was home. She heard crying and decided to look. Through the window, saw her parents crying. She heard them crying about how they thought she was missing and only wished for her to come back home. She slowly pushes through the front door. Chapter 6. Finally home. She was so happy when she made it home. Stunned, her parents looked at her in shock. She stumbled towards her family and hugged. Now she could finally be at peace at home and finally have a warm meal waiting for her. She quickly told her mother about the long journey and how terrible it was at the hotel and the traumatic experience she had gone through. She's so happy to finally see her family and her sister. As the guilt built up in her mind, she quickly apologized for running away. Her family, forgiving her, gave her another warm hug. Later she stumbled onto her bed, tired from all the craziness which had happened. She fell into a deep sleep. When she woke up, she remembered how she was home. So spended so much time with your family that day. She played at the park with her sister and played games with her family. She tried to have the best day she could. So far it went really well. She was very happy, but she still thought someone was watching her. She didn't let that stop her and still have fun. She was so happy. She was the happy that people thought the thing can stop her, but the thoughts grew bigger. She still felt like someone was watching her. She tried stopping herself from feeling that way, but it got bigger. The most thought about it, the more it haunted her. She knew she already got away from it, just felt some things with her even if she was alone. She didn't like that. Stop her and had the best day ever. A day later she had the best time sitting on the couch with her family. Ha 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 ha. Before it reaches the end, I want to say I really enjoyed making this book. You'll probably say the best thing about this book for me is the illustrations, but I barely did illustrations. I really love the part was where I express my feelings into the writing. At that moment I really thought about what I wanted to write like never before. I say thank you to all my teachers that taught me how to actually write, that led me to this work. Thank you for enjoying my book. Bye. Book 2 coming soon.